Hey there, it's Kimberly here with Knit for Brains, and today I want to talk about some of my favorite charities that I love to donate the items that I crochet and or knit. So stay tuned to this episode. Hey there, it's Kimberly here with Knit for Brains. Thank you so much for joining me. So, we have a giving heart. I mean, that's what you do. When you crochet, you knit it, you crochet it, you like to give it away. We have giving hearts. You have giving hearts. And so I thought today I would talk to you about some of my favorite charities that I like to donate things when I crochet and I knit. First one, and a lot of you know about this, last year we started Project Welcome Home, where we donated blankets, crochet granny square blankets. You guys donated the granny squares and I made them into blankets with my mom, called Project Welcome Home. We got over 1,500 granny squares from all across the United States, Canada, and Europe, thanks to you. And we were able to make about 45 blankets that we gave to assisted living residents who had just moved into this assisted living facility. And it was such a great thing. I mean, what a great way just to share the love. So I thought that maybe I would bring some other ideas because, maybe you don't have time to make the granny squares, or maybe, you just want to use something that's scraps. So we're going to talk about some of my favorite charities when it comes to donating. So let's go over to the computer, shall we? So I thought it'd be great just to kind of check out some of my favorite charity organizations, places that I like to donate my goods when I'm wanting to make something out of scraps or just wanting a fun little crochet or knit project. So the first thing is I am an official Random Acts of Kindness. I am a Ractivist, which I love the name, but basically it means that I joined the Random Acts of Kindness Foundation. All you had to do was just sign up. But what's really nice is it gives you ideas of just how to do little things just to be kind and nice to each other. So they have things here, kindness at school. And so if you have a little one at home, maybe you can teach them or have them do some of these kindness lessons. And they have them for pre-K and all the way through kindergarten and high school, and different posters and bookmarks and things that they can do at school. They also have stuff that you can do at home, and they have a kindness calendar that I love, and it basically shows you different themed ideas each month and in each day, different things that you can do just to be kind, just ideas that you might have. Coloring pages, and then they also have these really great tag cards. So I like to use these, and when I do a little widget or a cute little heart or something like that, and I leave it behind in a park or in a shopping center, then I grab these little tags and then I attach it to whatever I've given them, so people know that it's actually, something that they can take with them. And then you can even do Ractivist or kindness at work, and they give you some great ideas. So it's just a really nice way to kind of organize thoughts of kindness and come up with some really great inspiration and ideas. So I love being a Ractivist. So the next thought that I wanted to bring to you, and you probably already know about them, if you follow Juan the Yarn Addict or Nancy with She's Got Yarn Too, you definitely know about Camp Boggy Creek. Now, I don't know that much about it, only what I know through what I've seen through Nancy and with Juan, but I understand that this is a camp, and I believe it's in Florida, where kids go if they're going through maybe a cancer treatment or some kind of a medical treatment, and they're able to come to camp. So my understanding is that you make the blanket and you can either crochet it or knit it or quilt it or sew it. And they also have these patterns for blankets and bears. And then you donate it. So these kids have something for them and to call their own when they go to this camp. Now, my understanding is that you make the complete blanket and or the bear, and then you send them to either Nancy with She's Got Yarn Too, or I know Juan the Yarn Addict has a donation site, and I think there's a couple other ladies that do it as well. And then once a year, they take all the blankets and they bring them down to Camp Boggy Creek. So that's a great way you can help kids and children in need and things like that. But that is the whole entire blanket. So here's one that I know a lot of people get involved with, and this is Knots of Love. And maybe you don't do Knots of Love, but if you're ever donating blankets to NICU babies or hats for chemo patients, then it's probably going through an organization like Knots of Love, if it isn't Knots of Love. And I love doing this. I used to donate, when I worked at the hospital, I would make blankets for my NICU babies, little hats and blankets. The only thing is you want to make sure that you're using a specific type of yarn. You want to make sure that it's hypoallergenic, so probably not something that's wool, that could be scratchy or cause somebody an allergy. So there might be a specific criteria that you'd have to use as far as yarns go, and as far as signs and things like that. But they do have this starter kit. If you're not really sure what to do or how to get started, you can order these kits from them. And of course, the money benefits Knots of Love. And you can either do crochet or you can do knit. And this is for the beanies. And so that would include either your needles, your little notions kit, your, sewing needles and stitch markers and so forth, or again, the same thing if you're going to be doing it in crochet. So that's really a nice way to kind of get started. If you have your own knit or your own yarns and you just want to make it, then you can also order a pattern from them and support the organization that way. Or you can also just make your own patterns. But I thought this was a great idea. It kind of keeps everything all in one place, and it gives you great inspiration for different patterns and blankets that you can make for NICU babies and our friends who are going through chemo and radiation. One of my personal favorite organizations is called Knitted Knockers. And this is an organization who provides these breast implants, these temporary implants that women can put into their bras after they've had a mastectomy while they're waiting for their bodies to heal and before they can have the implants that they're going to have following their mastectomy treatments. And this originally was started with a woman who'd had a mastectomy, and the silicone prosthetics that they were putting into her bra while she was waiting for her implants she said it made her really sweaty, and sometimes the material, the silicone, can be very scratchy against people's skin. So she was looking for an alternative, and her oncologist had told her about this pattern that she could make these knitted breasts. And so she started the organization called Knitted Knockers, and you can make them here, as you can see, either in the knitted or in the crocheted patterns. You can get their patterns right here on their website. And they also have tutorials on here because you want to make sure that you have the right size for the breast, because there are different sizes, whether you're going to be like a C or a D cup or something like that. And then also the fabric that you're using, the yarn, you want to make sure that it is also approved. Now, there are some yarns that are approved, so you may not be able to use your stash. You just have to check into it. But again, you want something that's going to be a little bit more in those flesh colored tones. So you don't want anything that's like a hot pink or a lime green, because it might show through a bra lining. But this is a great organization. You can also look on this website and you can see if there's anyone in your local area. They have a state listed here, who is a collection site. So here in California, which is where I live, you can look up, there might be different yarn stores. So here's a Knitted Knockers of Northern California. And this person here works for an oncologist, a Pacific Cancer Center. And so you can drop them off to that location. So you can find something within your state, whether it's going to be a local yarn store or whether it's going to be an oncologist office or a breast cancer center. And if you want to become a drop-off location yourself, you can get in touch with the organization and you can sign up to be a knitter and a crocheter, so that you can get that information as well. But I love this organization, and I'm going to show you here in just a minute some actual knitted knockers that I have. So it's a really fun organization. And the last one, for some people who maybe don't want to or want an option to donate goods to something other than children or cancer patients or NICU babies, it's always a great idea to crochet or knit something for our furry friends. And rather than finding your local humane society or your local pet rescue, which is great if you have one in your area, that's a wonderful thing to do, but maybe you don't, or maybe you don't really know where to go. This organization is great because what they do is they tell you the different animal shelters that they support, and it's all listed by state. So here it shows you, you want to find your state. So if you're in Alabama, these are all the different shelters that they donate to, or Alaska, and again, here in California. And maybe if you go ahead and donate to them, you can go directly to the organization and donate your blankets or your maybe toys or something like that. Then you can go ahead and enter your information here, how many you donated and where you donated them to, and then they keep track of it here as well. They also have a great pattern book for, I think, dogs and cats that you can order from them and help support the organization and what they do. You can get it here on Amazon or you can order it here on their website, I think. And then you can make these really cute little blankets and pet beds for those animals. So if you give them to Humane Society, then that blanket or that pet bed is going to stay with that animal when they go off to their forever home. So that's a really great idea as well. I hope that gave you so much inspiration. But before we go, I wanted to show you just a couple of the little things that I have. So the first thing is the knitted knockers, which I had spoken about on the video. Now I mentioned you have to use a specific yarn because you want to make sure that it's nice and soft against the person's skin. So Lion Brand has this brand that they use. You can see I got it on clearance. This is called Nubu. And they also have one called Trubu. You can also use 100% cotton. And on the website for knitted knockers, it has a list of all the approved yarns. I think it's even a PDF. But what I did notice when I got this yarn is there's a little sticker right there that says it is approved for knitted knockers. So you might be able to find something like this on your yarn and know that it's approved. This is Nubu, which is lyocell, which is sort of like a bamboo. It's really, really soft and it's kind of that nice fleshy color. So I'm going to show you some of the knitted knockers and all the goodies and things that I have. So this is a knitted knocker and they come in a pair, so you make two. This one here is going to go up against the back of the skin, and then what you do is you just stuff it. They want you to send it in flat, and then they can stuff it. And then basically it kind of goes like this. Now some of them even have a little bit of a darkened areola area, but this is just one set. So this one is using a little bit more of a stiffer cotton. You can see also very soft though. And this is a little bit of a bigger size. And then we just tie them together like so. This is one a little bit more of a flesh color, also a little bit bigger, and you can just see that how you kind of decrease your stitches. I'll show you here the patterns in just a second. And then I've got just a couple others. I don't have any crocheted ones in the bag right now, but they do have a crocheted pattern. So here's just a pale pink. So this is another color that you can use. And here's just a nice white one, and then some kind of the bone colors as well. So when you sign up to be a knitted knocker, you get all this information. Oh, there's lots in here. So here is a stuffed knitted knocker. This is what it looks like when they're all completely stuffed. And then they're just put right into the bra, and they actually have a really nice shape to them, and they look very natural. And then you send them into the organization, then they attach this little tag to them. So this is what the patient would get. So this would go to the cancer center, or you could drop off your knocker like this, maybe to the local yarn store, or send them into the knitted knockers. Then they fill them, they stuff them, and then they come back looking like this. So this is the knitted knockers. And when you sign up to be a knitted knocker participant or donator, you can get it either in the crocheted pattern, which comes like this. And it's got the pattern inside. Or you can get the knitted version as well. And they also have these nice brochures that you can leave behind, maybe in your own doctor's office, that has information about the program here and how it started. And then this little leave behind as well. And then this here, it says, please enjoy these enclosed knitted knockers, compliments of our volunteered knitters and supporters. So this probably goes to the end user. So it's got this really nice, it's a great organization, very professional. It's got all the documentation, the paperwork, so you know that it's official. But you get all of this information here when you sign up to be a knitted knocker. And then here it gives you the list of all of the different approved yarns that you can use. So you might have some of this in your stash. Now, maybe you want to be using up your stash. So I found this guy on Amazon. So I'm not saying you could go and buy these on Amazon. I'm saying you make it, but I wanted it so I could learn the pattern. And this is just a little positive potato when it says, I may be a tiny potato, but I believe in you and go do your thing. So I do like to make little notions like this, and I'll leave them in the seat part of the shopping cart at the grocery store as I'm returning a shopping cart, or maybe I'll leave it on a bench in a park where I know it's going to get a lot of traffic, or maybe hanging in a little tree, or maybe even I've left them at the airport. I've left them hanging on little, gates or in a seat next to me on the airport, or on city streets, just hanging off of a little like street sign. So Just leave them in little areas with a cute little tag, something like this that somebody will find. Here's another pattern that I found, and I make these little bees, and then I would attach a little tag that says "Be the Change." And then you've got these other options here, these cute little crocheted hearts. We've got flowers, these cute little ladybugs. So there's just all different kinds of options. Just a little thing that you can do just to spread the love and spread the kindness. So I hope that helped you come up with some ideas, some inspiration about things that you can do, little charity projects, whether they're really big, big blankets, or even just the tiniest thing. There's always something out there you can do, no matter what time, how much time you've got, or what your resources are. If you've got some scrap yarn, you can always end up making someone's day. So whatever you end up doing, please always do it with love. This is Kimberly with Knit for Brains, and as always, I'll see you soon.